Nos, sziasztok, meg is érkeztem, ahogy ígértem. Folytatjuk egy kicsit a Vampyrt. Bocs, az előző videó végén, egy kicsit sok volt a whisky cola. De most teljes erőberobással folytatjuk. Na nézzük. Ez mi volt először is? Hogy... Hol is hagytuk abba? Igen, inventory. Összeszedtük a fegyvert. Igen, volt ez a sörétes talán. Pontosan. Na nézzük tovább. Fegyverfejlesztéseik. Sima alkohol, óra. Éles napló. Ez mik volt? Igen, ez volt a feleségemmel kapcsolatos, Beckyvel. Ez meg a tankcsapda jeles. Igen. Nézzük tovább. Ez megvan. Ezután merre kell menjek, main questbe. Ezek a városlakók. Igazából mindent tudunk, amit tudni akartunk a játék folytatásához. Az irányításra nem nagyon emlékszem. De, megvan. Ott nem tudtam bemenni. Itt szedtem össze a sörétest valahol. Amúgy a testnek még mindig nem tudom a magyar megfelelőjét.
It's locked.
Na, fejlesszük fel. Ezt miért nem tudom használni?
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
bloodshed.
Please, let go of me.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed. A surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist, returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Miért álltunk meg?
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke,
Hogy mit
it's not what
veszek?
we have,
Verd el
but what we haven't.
élménylány.
It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Itt vagyok, csak elfelejtettem átnyomni az irányító pultba a játék címét. Tehát eddig úgy ment a stream, mint PUBG. Pedig nem az. Nagyon nem az.
Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea,
Welcome
immediately.
aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Na.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insult me again and I'll put an end to your misery right now.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Ez komolyan meg van csinálva.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea and
Thank you.
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital.
I would like to ask a few questions. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in.
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs.
What kind of man?
Well, you accept...
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us. You'll get to know...
Apologies, I've only just met him the once.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate.
Thank you, nurse. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks.
That's quite a blunt introduction.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for...
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's...
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long ago.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently.
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here.
You left an infected patient?
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by a patient.
But you're not defending yourself.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to...
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Adjunk el neki valamit. Ez nem biztos. Már lehet nem akarok eladni semmit. És milyen van eladó? Történjek. Shotgun. Na nézzük tovább.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new...
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you.
Did he really? It's a good thing...
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised.
You must know, blood transfusions are doctors...
How are things?
Not good, to say the least.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting.
Do you think this hospital can survive?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold...
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet.
Brilliant professionals, most of them.
Most of them? Is there a problem?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but...
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett.
Why should his age be...
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just...
Goodbye, nurse. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea...
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will...
How would you describe this situation?
It's serious.
You must get a hold of yourself now.
Sorry. I'm exhausted. No one has...
Nurse Hawkins, this...
I wish I could believe you.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease...
Sorry, Doctor.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more...
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it...
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation.
Why does Milton dislike Doc?
I don't know. Just ask him.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Here again. Nem mondod, hogy mindenki
Good evening,
kell
sir.
témázni.
Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken...
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my...
How is your stay with us?
Oh, it's bliss. I just...
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurt.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me.
You don't seem worried.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about...
No offense. I was pushing too much.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war.
Goodbye for now.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is...
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William...
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
What is the general situation?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gang.
Who leads the gang?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle?
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without...
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagion.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived...
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving...
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically?
I feel exhausted.
You're in good hands here. Doctors...
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Hello again.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. It's locked, all right.
A küldetéseket.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Kicsit. Level 6 szükséges. Rára, hogy alapásokhoz damage-et. Növeli az életet. Az van. Úgy. Ó, baszki. Új.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows the sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Na. Nem tudok kiosztani. Most tényleg csak szopatsz, ugye?
Asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry up!
Yes, Nurse Crane?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swan...
A crisis, you said?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was...
What type of hospital are you running?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the...
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily...
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a...
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored...
Perhaps I should look there first.
It's the large building behind the hospital.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow... It's locked. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody... So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well. William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to say...
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days. Perhaps I should have considered the offer from...
Good evening, sir.
So it is true.
The famous...
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future.
What is the
This hospital is not exactly the best of London.
It's not exactly the best situation in London.
Don't be misled by appearances, Doctor.
What can you tell me?
Some are really good, and others are not so good.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful...
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about them?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve.
Ah, yes.
Don't get me wrong.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about... You don't have to blame her.
I'm not that kind.
You're exhausting yourself.
No.
Nurse Brannigan is worried. You don't have... Goodbye, Doc.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Doc. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doc.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the...
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration...
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening.
Good evening.
Why does
If it wasn't for...
Dr. Tippett does...
If you're suggesting...
Goodbye, nurse. Call me... Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically.
Goodbye, Milton.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed.
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My Clement.
You keep calling me mortal. Why?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean...
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal?
I'm curious to know who you were before...
No, it's such a long time ago, I don't remember.
And why do you believe?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am.
I see.
Never? Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You...
Please.
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and
I'm assuming you must be a...
It's only a cover.
Who are these enemies you mentioned?
I cannot say.
The stuff...
I'm not...
I see.
Thank you.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the...
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then do you always work the night?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands...
Lack of...
London's trenches start...
Your dedication to the Pembroke...
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation.
Please...
It's the Lord... It's really the...
That's all for now, Nurse Crane. Thank you.
Reads me like a book.
Good evening.
I don't know it.
I see.
I'm half...
Tell me about it.
I'm just a regular...
I was more...
I'm a...
Stop by egy kicsit. Folytatom egy kicsit később. Még találkozunk ma.